Consider the following formula. Which of the following statements is true for this formula? To solve this question, we first need to put our equation into slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So let's take this equation down here and try to isolate our variable y using opposite operations. 12 is being added, so the opposite or inverse operation is going to be subtracting 12 from both sides. These 12s will cancel, giving us x minus 12 is equal to 3y. Then 3 is being multiplied to y, so the opposite is to divide everything by 3. These 3's will cancel, giving us y is equal to x divided by 3 minus 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now that we have our equation and our axes labeled, we just need to find our x and y intercept to graph. So let's start by finding our x-intercept, which is where y is equal to 0. So we'll say y is 0, and that is equal to x divided by 3 minus 4. 4 is being subtracted from x, so the opposite is to add it to both sides. These will cancel, leaving us with 4 is equal to x divided by 3. X is being divided by 3, so the opposite is multiplying both sides by 3. These 3's will cancel, leaving us with 3 times 4 is 12 is equal to x, or the coordinate point 12, 0. Then we need to find our our y-intercept, where x is equal to 0. So we'll write our equation. Y is equal to 0 divided by 3 minus 4. And 0 divided by 3, that would just give us the number 0, leaving us with y is equal to negative 4, or the coordinate point 0, negative 4. Now that we have both our intercepts, I'm going to make our graph, and I'll be right back. Here I have graphed our two intercepts, one at 12, 0, which is up and down 0 to the right, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And then our other point, 0, negative 4, is to the left and right 0 and down to 4. Now we can look at our answer choices. A says when the value of a y is greater than 0. So here's where y is equal to 0, and greater than is everything above this line. X is positive. Well, this already looks to be true because all of these values are extending into positive infinity in terms of x. So that would mean that A is correct. At that point, you can mark A and move on with the rest of the test, but for the sake of the video, I will show you why B, C, and D are incorrect. Answer choice B says when the value of x is greater than 5, y is positive. So if we have 2, 4, and 5 is right here in the middle, this would be our line, and we are going greater than this line of 5. Y should be positive. However, these values right here are all negative because they are underneath the x-axis, therefore making B incorrect. C says when the value of x is greater than 10, y is positive. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 would be here. And greater than is to the right, y is positive. It can be very tricky depending on whatever graph you drew to see that there's a tiny bit of y values that are underneath the x-axis, therefore making them negative and not positive. It's only after we cross the x-axis that those y values become positive. So this answer is also incorrect. D says when the value of y is less than negative 2, so we have negative 2 is here, and less than would be going down. X is negative. All of these values to the left-hand side of the y-axis are negative. However, there are still these values here, which are on the right-hand side of the y-axis, making those x values positive, not negative, making D incorrect and making A our correct answer.